Hey guys, I'm here with Porch, and I just want to share with you my morning routine and explain how it's changed my life. It's kind of creepy. So basically in this video I will give you a little bit of a background story as to why I decided to become a morning person, and then I will outline my morning routine. Mate. It's getting weird now. Nearly a year ago I was having a conversation with my friend Trev, and I'm not entirely sure how it came up, but we were talking about our morning routines, and I kind of explained, well, I'm not really a morning person, and at the time I was getting up at about 7:30 in the morning, which is not late really, but it is late for the construction industry. Anyway, I basically explained, and now in hindsight I recognize that I had kind of an entitled attitude, I guess, because basically as a business owner I justified it to myself, saying that, well, you know, I've worked hard to build this business, I therefore want the business to work for me, and that involves using hours how I see fit, and that includes sleeping in if I want to. So that's how I kind of let myself off the hook. But my friend Trev basically told me to pull my finger out and pointed out that, well, that's fine if you want to look at it that way, but he said, you know, you're someone who is setting out to achieve great things, so sleeping in doesn't really kind of align with that. And it really struck me that he said that, and I appreciate his honesty, and that really was a game changer for me. And so from that point I started to research how to become a morning person, and I've always told myself that I'm a night owl and that I function better at night time. And well, really, you can tell yourself that till you're blue in the face, but all the research indicates that having a morning routine is where it's at, really. All the most successful people in history have a really strong, disciplined morning routine. And so I want to share it with you because if you've already got a morning routine, then that's great. But if you don't have a morning routine, then I believe that this can really help you, because it totally changed my life for me. So I will now show you what I do. But also just a note that I will be filming this not at 5 a.m. in the morning, because it would just be impossible for me to actually get my morning routine done and film at the same time as well. So I'm filming this for the purpose of making this video, in case you're wondering why at 5 o'clock it's light outside. So just keep that in mind. And so I keep my morning routine written on a piece of paper here in my pantry, which I refer to all the time. So here it is here. That's my morning routine. That, as a matter of fact, for the morning routine to kind of work, it really has to start the night before. So I have a nighttime routine as well, which I'll run through. I just wanted to mention one more thing quickly at this point, and that is just that my default personality type is not at all to be disciplined or routined like this. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Just ask my mother when I was growing up. Really, I like to do things on a whim and take large risks and generally figure things out as I go. I've just always been like that since I was a little girl. And to some degree, I think that's a great way to be. But I've done enough research to know that really, if you're striving for excellence, well, excellence is just a sum of all of your disciplined daily habits added up over time. And so that's why I forced myself to become a routined person. My nighttime routine starts at about 8 p.m. and the first thing I do is check that I've got coffee ground for the morning. And that's so that I don't wake up Simon in the morning with the grinder, and also just to eliminate any obstacle in the morning. Basically at 5 a.m. pretty much everything is too hard and makes you want to go back to bed. So the whole point of this nighttime routine is to eliminate any obstacles at all, just to make the morning as easy as possible. There's my work clothes folded and ready for tomorrow morning. Just a small thing to do, but really just means that tomorrow morning things are more systemized and smooth, and I don't have to spend any brain power thinking about all of that. I remember reading about Steve Jobs and how he always wore his turtleneck, the same thing, to work every day, just because he didn't like the thought of wasting time picking out clothes for the day. So I'm so pleased that I have a uniform now as well. My breakfast requires just a little bit of prep work the night before, generally when I get home from the gym. It's like an overnight oats recipe, which I stole from someone that I follow on Instagram, Georgie Stevenson. Anyway, so basically all it is half a cup of oats, and then you just cover it with almond milk, and then you mix in this chocolate plant protein powder, and then you put that in the fridge and let it set overnight. And that's just the milk and the oats and the protein powder, and then just mix that all together. Might need to add a little bit more milk if it's too gluggy. So that's pretty much what it looks like, probably a little bit too much milk, but anyway, then that just goes in the fridge. And that's it till morning. A really basic, simple one, but for me, I need it. Just making sure my gym bag is here on the coat rack by the door where it belongs, that it's got a clean towel in it, and that's got a water bottle filled with water in it. And that's just because I get home quite late and have to be at the gym by 5:40, and I'm tired and basically looking for any excuse in the world not to go to the gym. And so by having this here ready to go just helps me eliminate any excuses or bad habits. Another thing I'll do is I'll put a load of washing on. There's a load in there now, and I will set it to start, if I put it for 10 hours from now, that will be at about 3 a.m. in the morning. So this will be finished at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. And that will make a bit more sense when I show you my morning routine. There's some things on this list like cleaning my kitchen, and then also my nighttime shower, skincare routine, drinking water, pajamas, cleaning teeth, which I'm not going to film, and most normal functioning human beings probably don't need to write a note to themselves to remind themselves to do that, but I do. So let's skip over that one. This one's a really good tip. It helped me heaps. After I'm in my pajamas about to crawl into bed, I'll set my alarm for 5 a.m. and then I will leave it here in the ensuite. So first of all, I'll be playing with my phone as I'm going to sleep, which is never a good thing. But also when the alarm goes off in the morning, I'm forced out of bed to come in here and turn it off. That's the hardest part, getting out of bed. So, if you put it on your bedside table, you're just going to hit the snooze button. And really, when the alarm goes off in the morning, that's pretty much the worst thing on the entire planet, is that alarm in the morning. And then when you go and hit the snooze button, you fall asleep and you wake up again and you're going to relive that horror all over again. So as nice as it sometimes feels to hit the snooze button, it's just not good. So it helped me a lot having my phone in the ensuite. They say that the first 5 minutes in the morning is the hardest part to conquer. So if you can just force yourself out of bed straight away, get past those first 5 minutes, then it's a lot easier after that. Now I'm in bed, I'm here with Doggo. Hey Benj. And I'll just spend a bit of time kind of reviewing my day. This diary that I use has this section here at the end for, tracking lessons learned, wins in the day and whatnot. So I'll spend some time doing that. I also like to track my kind of habits as well, my daily habits. So these are some things that I like to achieve every day. For example, waking at 5 a.m, I want to do that 5 days in the week, and so I can track my progress here. My morning routine, I want to do that 6 days in the week, and you can see here I've only done it 4 days in the week. I had to be at my construction site at 6:30 in the mornings sometimes, so it doesn't always go to plan, and that's fine. You've got to be flexible. I wanted to declutter 4 times, I've only done that twice, etc., etc. I like to look for opportunities to do an act of kindness. I've done it for 3 times. So this is just a helpful way to kind of monitor things. And I'm often under my goal, and that's okay. I try not to beat myself up about that, but rather just aim to be better the following week. It's 5 a.m. I've just woken up and I've come into the ensuite to turn off my alarm, and then I'll rinse my face, have a glass of water because water helps you wake up, and then I'll go make myself a cup of coffee. So first thing I've done is made my coffee, and now I'm going to go into the laundry. After I've got my coffee, the next thing I do is come into my laundry, and I spend 15 minutes hanging up the washing that has just finished. because I set it the night before, and folding and sorting and doing whatever in the laundry. I used to do this a bit later in my morning routine, but I do it first up now because it's pretty much a brain dead task, which is basically what you need at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's brain dead, doesn't require any thought, but it's a physical moving and it's sort of waking you up as you're going. And also I kind of need to have this in my life because I used to be the kind of person that would have a pile this high of laundry and would never get through it. But now just chipping away at it, 15 minutes in the morning, I've got an organised laundry. And then when my mum comes up and she will come into the laundry and she would normally do my folding and ironing, there's nothing here and she thinks I'm a boss. So that's good. But also to make it even better, while I'm doing that for 15 minutes, I'm listening to an audiobook on my iPhone. Someone gave me this tip and it's the best thing ever. There's an app you can get called Audible. You buy an Audible book from Amazon and then you play it through this app on your phone called Audible. And it's just fantastic. And so for these 15 minutes in the morning, I'm listening to an audiobook generally on leadership, on time management, on motivation, anything that I'm interested in learning about, I'll just buy a book and listen to it. So it's a great use of time while I'm in the laundry. And also whilst I'm doing the laundry, I'm listening to this and sort of getting inspired and motivated to kind of start and conquer my day. So here's some books that I've been listening to. I generally listen to a book every fortnight or so. Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last, Thinking Big by Zig Ziglar, How to Get and Stay Motivated, The Miracle Morning, On Fire, Start With Why, Master Your Time, TED Talks, The Power of Habit, Getting Things Done, Time Management, Leadership Success. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm always listening to, and I always listen to it in the car as well to make use of the commute. Then I'll come into my music room, and this is where I'll sit here every morning to do my morning devotion. So I'll pray and read the Bible and do my journaling. And so I know this is probably a controversial one, and probably lots of people will stop watching this video at this point, and that's fine. But yeah, this is where I sit, and I'm using the Bible in 1 Year app on my phone, and that's pretty good. And so I spend about 15 minutes here doing my devotion, and I've got my journal as well, which I write in too. They don't see things the same. So the next thing I do is then I sit down and I spend 15 to 20 minutes, first of all, mapping out my day, making sure that I've time blocked everything and that all of my time is accounted for. Because basically if you don't run your day will run you. I've kind of learnt that if you're not proactive and intentional about your day, then you'll end up just being reactive and just responding to everyone's demands and expectations of you. So I make sure that I map everything out that I want to achieve. And I use this diary called Self Journal by Best Self Co, and it's been great for helping me track everything and track my goals. After I've mapped out my day, then I'll kind of review my goals, so they're short-term and long-term goals, and I just keep them on separate pieces of paper in the back of my diary. So these are personal, and they're relating to my personal life, my relationships, my health, and also my business. So like a couple of them, for example, this one's to do with my health, and I will prioritize my health so that I can feel proud and healthy and honor God with my body. And I will do this by eating clean 5 nights a week, 4 big workouts each week, drinking 2 liters of water daily, not storing junk food in the house. So that's a health related goal. And this one's about personal development and discipline. So it says I'll be a disciplined person so that I can be productive and be the best version of myself. I will do this by committing to my 5 a.m. mornings, by aiming to be in bed by 10 p.m. and storing my phone in the ensuite, and reading my nighttime goals and affirmations. And the list goes on. I won't go into any more detail on that. So yeah, I've got a whole lot of personal goals that I'm out to achieve, and I just kind of review them, maybe rewrite them and change them, update them, and just keep them here in the back of my diary. But you know, they say that if you want to achieve your goals, you have to write them out and you have to kind of track them and reverse engineer them and be proactively focusing on them. Otherwise, your days just end up getting consumed by all of your busyness. So it's important to do this first thing in the morning. So my next thing in the morning is then to spend 10 to 15 minutes sort of updating all of my bookkeeping. Basically running a business, if I don't stay on top of it, it can get out of hand really quickly. So 10 minutes in the morning, I just make sure all of my accounts are up to date. Don't say things
things the same. To walk like two out the door.
So the next thing on my morning routine is to spend some time decluttering. And basically that's to align with one of my long-term goals, is to have a house that doesn't have crap in it. I'm just trying to clear out all of just the stuff that I don't use, that I don't want, that I don't like, and just get it out of the house. And so rather than spending like 2 weeks full time doing that, which is about what it would take, I'm spending 10 or 15 minutes every morning. I don't know, I'll just pick like a drawer or a section in my wardrobe, just one small area in the house, and I will cull it. Put some stuff into boxes ready to take to symphonies or to give away or whatever it may be. And so yeah, again, I try and make my morning routine reflect my my personal goals. So now it's time for my breakfast. These are the oats that I prepared last night. And so basically all it is just throw in some blueberries, this is natural coconut milk yogurt. And then just for some crunch, some granola. Sometimes I'll also put some peanut butter on it, some natural peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter. And some other fruit, banana if I want, but that's basically what I have, and it's great because it's so sustaining. Normally if I eat breakfast at 6 a.m. I'm starving by 6:30, no jokes, but this sustains me for at least a good few hours. So that's my breakfast lately. I've just arrived at my job site. On the way to work I was eating my breakfast. That's my good mate little Adam. But also on the way, it's hard to show you because I'm using my phone now, but whenever I'm commuting, I listen to an audiobook. I used to hate driving from A to B because I just thought it was so unproductive and such a waste of time, but now I'm always just listening to an audiobook, and it makes the commute very, very productive. So I hope there were some useful tips in there for you. I can't believe that I'm actually a 5 a.m. person now. I always remember hearing my auntie talking about how she would wake up at 5 a.m. and I just thought she was just a crazy old 5 a.m. lady. She's not even that old. But now that it's part of my routine, I can't imagine not doing it. And I've been doing it for about a year or so, and so I can see the impact that it's had on my life. Just one other little tip though that I've learnt, which I think might help you. I can't take credit for it. It was in a book by Mel Simmons. Hop down, buddy. Called The 5-Second Rule. And basically she was talking about, this is a very quick summary, how we get good ideas in our head, like, oh, I need to go to the gym, or oh, I should really spend some time writing that report. And apparently it takes us about 5 seconds to talk ourselves out of it. We might say, oh, I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to, or I don't have, my gym pants aren't clean. And so we take about 5 seconds to talk ourselves out of it. And so she has come up with this idea of the 5-second rule, and that is whenever you get the idea to do something, like go to the gym, as soon as you get the idea, you then count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you take action. The idea is that the act of counting backwards sort of replaces that negative talking yourself out of it. So you're replacing it with another action. And then of course by the time you get to 1, you take action and go ahead and do that. Now can you imagine if you did that throughout any moment throughout all of your days, how much more stuff you would get in? If you did that, say 20 times a day, you would just be so much more productive and get so much more done. And so it's something that I actually lately have been forgetting to do, but I'll definitely be trying to do that again now. So that's all for now. So from little Adam and I, thanks for watching and goodbye. Oh, and please, if you wouldn't mind, if this was helpful for you or if you liked it, could you please hit the like button, and also would you consider subscribing to this channel? And also if you have any comments or questions, maybe you want to know what the titles of those books were or other books that I recommend, or any other questions or things that I sort of gleaned over quite quickly, please just ask the questions in the comment section and I'll reply to those.